If you can hear that sound, we found us a nice little waterfall. As far as epic views are concerned, that is not this location. Wow, it's just beautiful through here. Just hike along this road, get some good video of the creek and the vegetation and stuff. It is nice and green and lush. There is some mist in the trees. I do see a couple of shots here. It would be really awesome if we just had a little bit of sunlight come through and hit some of these trees. Hopefully we're gonna get rained on. This is a tough nut to crack. That's not too bad. Kind of liking some of the lines in there. I really like this rock. I think it's gorgeous. Welcome back. We're here in Gunnison National Forest. I'm not quite sure what kind of views I'm going to have at this particular campsite. I'm going there because there's a really cool creek and waterfall and stuff that I want to go capture. So we'll see what we get as far as sunrise and sunset. I do know that there's more rain on the way. I think we're supposed to be getting rain throughout the evening and into the night probably. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully we're not all completely clouded in. But let's get moving here and get to their campsite. It is 6 o'clock here, end of August. Definitely starting to see some leaves change. It's a cool little valley. But when we get up in there, there's a little bit of a kind of a canyon. Does look like there's still some sun out in here. Okay. There was a lot of rain on the way up, so everything is good and soaked. Oh, look at that. There's some beaver damage right there. Yeah, there's beavers up and down this stream. So maybe we'll get to see some beavers, maybe? I don't know. This right here is the campsites I usually stay at. Let's see if anybody's up here, I guess. Nobody's here, which is cool. I think I'm gonna come down here. There's a spot that I haven't stayed at. I've stopped by there to get some photos and things before. Yeah, with all the rain right now, this is gonna look great. Well, that sun is disappearing behind some clouds. I think we've got some rain coming, so I better get to my spot here soon, which it's just around the corner. There'll be some fun things to get. We're gonna focus on trees and rocks and moss rather than going super epic mountains. Wow, it's just beautiful through here. So the one thing I was like, I want water, you know? So now we got water falling out of the sky and we're camped next to water, so we'll be able to get a lot of that. So this is it right here. This is the site. All right, perfect. Here's our spot. Excited to be here, 6:30, so I think we've got 2 hours of light, technically. It's getting darker up there. Not quite sure what we're gonna get tonight. There's a few little rock features and stuff here that's right here, so actually the cloud cover is gonna be really good for shooting in a forest because then it'll just be all nice and soft. Kind of bland, so I'll just have to work on my composition and stuff. This is just a beautiful little area. Sort of tucked into a canyon. It's super lush. Some moss up on these rocks. Tonight feels like it might end up being a little bit of a dud for photography in general. I think the focus of this little campsite is going to be the stream, or the creek here, and just some of the canyon walls and things like that. Like, all up and down this road is just gorgeous. Really excited to shoot some stuff. But we got camp all set up here. But yeah, it might just be a little chill night. Okay, so we are early morning creek. Got some pretty thick cloud cover overhead, so it's a pretty still day. I'm facing away from the creek to try to get a little less of the direct sound. But yeah, let's see what we get. Beautiful morning, that's for sure. I've got the camera set up down here, doing a time lapse because there is some mist in the trees and things. We got our microphone set up, our stereo rig. Try to get some of this. I did some last night. We had some thunder, lightning. Think it rained till about midnight, maybe a little bit after that. So it is nice and green and lush. You can see a lot of water droplets on all of the leaves and plants. Hopefully some sun starts coming out. It looks like it's supposed to be pretty cloudy all day, but I think it's time to switch over to my telephoto just because it's busy in here. That is always the trick. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have some fun. But I'm gonna go check on the other camera and start getting some shots. This is a tough nut to crack. This location is difficult. It is just stunning. I just can't find a good composition. I don't know. That's not too bad there. Kind of liking some of the lines in there. Yeah, I think what I need to do is dial it in, focus on small things here. man, it's a beautiful, fantastic morning. I was thinking the sun was coming back out, but as clouds are getting darker again, this location / this morning with all the clouds is kind of a blessing in some ways, because if we didn't have all the clouds, then there'd be a lot of contrast. It's just difficult to find a nice composition. I know that there's some good shots here. I just haven't had anything that just really caught me. But I have not really been doing much stuff in the creek. Ooh, that's a shot right there. All right, we're all packed up, ready to go. We had some really dark clouds through most of the morning, so it was just kind of, nothing was popping. Now we're getting some dappled light in, and there's some blue sky up there. So I'm able to get a few things, but yeah, I just played around. So I think what we're gonna do is just continue on up this trail. It doesn't go too much further, and just sort of pop out occasionally, grabbing some different shots of the creek here. The trail that we're going to be hitting later today should be a bunch of old mines and everything. Let's get moving so we have enough time to do all of that.